Poll for today. On balance, in your view, does international trade between countries help create jobs in the U.S. or cause job losses in the U.S.? Meltdown: AOC blows her stack at Pelosi after top Dem mocks Twitter world. Nancy Pelosi is once again under fire from mutinous socialist Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who unloaded on the top House Democrat over dismissive comments published by the New York Times. Feelings are still extremely raw after AOC and the other three members of her posse humiliated the Speaker with their defection on a border security bill that failed to satisfy their demands to deprive some funding for ICE, an agency that the extremists are determined to abolish. The bomb-throwing former bartender, along with fellow freshman political arsonists Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib and Ayanna Pressley, was infuriated when a desperate Pelosi had to choke down a triple helping of Crow and agree to a Senate bill that was supported by President Trump. The Speaker needed some sort of action on the border crisis following the tragic drowning of a migrant and his daughter that was captured in an iconic picture and the outrage storm that had been ginned up by Ocasio-Cortez and the radicals, and she needed it before Congress left D.C. for their latest holiday break. The perpetually outraged four horsewomen of the apocalypse immediately attacked nervous Nancy as a turncoat in another of their trademark Twitter tantrums, and once again proved that despite her efforts to mollify them, to the extent of excusing blatant anti-Semitism, that they are uncontrollable and have their sights set on her overthrow. Pelosi struck back in the New York Times, mocking the idea that the Fab Four with a tail that wags the dog, and for good measure, suggested that the whiny brats were irrelevant outside of their Twitter world. Via the Hill, Pelosi on disagreement with Ocasio-Cortez, Omar, Tlaib, Pressley, they're four people and that's how many votes they got. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi D. Califf, in an interview with a New York Times opinion columnist, said that despite their popularity, progressive Congresswomen Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez DNY, Ilhan Omar D. Min, Rashida Tlaib D. Mitch, and Ayanna Pressley D. Mass, each only get one vote. Pelosi's comments follow a recent split between progressives and moderate Democrats over a $4.6 billion spending package passed by Congress last week aimed at remedying issues at the U.S.-Mexico border. Some progressives opposed the bill. Pelosi told The Times in an interview published Saturday that she believes the four freshman lawmakers made themselves irrelevant by voting against our bill. All these people have their public whatever in their Twitter world, she said. But they didn't have any following. They're four people and that's how many votes they got. While she demonstrated amazing restraint by not going for Joe Biden's throat when he dismissed her influence over the party in a CNN interview on Friday, AOC broke free of her choke chain and erupted at Pelosi with a meltdown that will reverberate throughout Twitter world for the foreseeable future and serve as a rallying cry for the increasingly militant socialist faction. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. That public whatever is called public sentiment. And wielding the power to shift it is how we actually achieve meaningful change in this country. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I find it strange when members act as though social media isn't important. They set millions of on to run TV ads so people can see their message. I haven't dialed for dollars once this year, have more time to do my actual job. Yet we'd rather campaign like it's 2008. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I don't believe it was a good idea for Dems to blindly trust the Trump admin when so many kids have died in their custody. It's a huge mistake. This admin also refuses to hand over docs to Congress on the whereabouts of families. People's lives are getting bargained for what? It isn't the first time that Pelosi has failed to treat the toxic troublemaker with the appropriate deference either, and the New York Times story must have rattled Ocasio-Cortez's cage enough that she took a break from her lying about migrants being forced to drink toilet water and the crowd size at President Trump's 4th of July rally to clap back at her tormentor. The latest tirade more evidence that the two women are on a collision course, and unless Pelosi sends a message by removing her from key committees that she lacked the experience and knowledge to sit on to begin with, she will soon be leading a palace revolt.